All right. Well, good evening, everybody. It's exciting to have this many people for the first focus discussion of Team Three's 2026 season. If I'm doing the math right, this is oh boy, how many seasons is this? Is this 14? Um, let's stick with that number till someone sets me straight. Uh, so it's great to have these focus discussions and see a bunch of new faces here tonight. Um, you're not going to hear much more from me because we have two guest instructors tonight. We've got Alex Diaz, and we've also got Chris Doucette. They're going to introduce themselves, their credentials a bit more. I just want to point out, in case they skip on these things, Alex is a national referee, and he's in the process of becoming a national referee instructor and a national referee assessor. Alex has been a regional referee administrator and a section referee administrator. So Chris is Chris Doucette is currently our Section 10 uh, referee administrator. He has been a regional referee administrator and an area referee administrator. Chris is a national referee instructor, and a national referee assessor. So I promise you do have two rock stars here. And Alex and Chris, thank you very much for doing this. We have used Team 3's focus discussions before to trial expo workshops. So what everyone is seeing now is brand new. You're the first people in the world to receive this. And Alex and Chris authored it. It's going to be offered at the expos around the country. So Alex and Chris, take it away.
All right. Good to be here. Can't pass up that introduction from Lewis, so I don't have much more to add. I don't know if Chris does, but I will say working with Chris in a bunch of different capacities is nothing more than a pleasure. Pressure's on, but yeah, anything to add in terms of intros, Chris?
No, it's just thanks for letting us be a part of this group to try this out. Alex really is the author of this. I kind of looked at it and gave some notes, but he is the person behind it, and we really wanted to give it a try before doing it at Expo in Pasadena, which we hope to see everybody there for that. That'd be fantastic to do it live, uh, actually in a room with everybody else. But it's kind of fun to see how it works kind of in the wild. And so this is an opportunity for us to learn as much as you. But this is kind of a nice group to be a part of. I recognize a lot of faces. There's probably some new friends out there, and some more recent newly formed friendships that are good to see you being part of this group because you've learned a great deal working with Lewis and Cindy and the others that are running the program. Keith, I did it a long time ago and have stayed in touch with it, but not as active as I once was. But it helped me get to where I am now. It's kind of hard to say you're done with the program when you find so many friends and fun events and good memories. So that's, I think, the reason why Alex and I are still here and doing this. And it's good to kind of get that little shot in the arm and remember everything that's so much fun about it. So we hope to have you take something home tonight with this. So I'm ready if you are, Alex.
Yeah, let's do it. So you're probably wondering what advanced mechanics and communication is. Um, so we'll go into that. So throughout today and this evening, what our objective is really to have group discussion. So I hope you're all ready to chat because we're going to have a lot of breakout rooms where you go and chat with different people around what silent communication is. So it's one thing to be on the field and talk and say, hey, Chris, I need help, or this is happening. But we have those intense moments, those intense games where nonverbal communication um, is needed. And um, we don't always have the luxury of speaking to our teammates. So that's what we're going to look at. We're hoping we can, throughout this, that we all learn new tips and tricks in terms of what that silent communication could look like. So we'll have scenarios that we share with you all, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so let's jump right into it. And this is very interactive. Alex and I aren't going to be saying as much as the group is as a whole. So we kind of want everyone to start thinking about how we communicate. It's built in with what we've been trained to do in our courses. We've been mentored in it. We pre-game, we post-gamed. As you see here at the picture, we can use our voice, we can use our hand. But I want you to start thinking in your own brain, and maybe some recent games, maybe something recent is just Saturday or Sunday. Some of the things that we've done silently, no words, that we've used to communicate with our referee team on any game. Start ruminating on that. Because we're going to ask for a few examples here on something kind of concise that you've done. So the short version, but a detailed version of what you may have done. I can't see everybody. You might just need to unmute and identify yourself, and we'll give you the screen.
I'll speak.
Silent. Oh, go ahead.
Keith?
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say silent communication methods. That thumbs up is good. I mean, looking over at your ARs during dead ball situations, getting a nod of the head, or a hands up signal saying, "Hey, everything's good." That's a silent communication method for referees. I think that
Mhm.
used many times a game.
And are we all using these? Everybody knows what Keith's talking about? You've seen it, you've done it. We'll get some nods. Okay. Is this a great communication method before we need to communicate?
Yes.
Yeah. So Keith, what does it really do, these things that you just talked about? What does it help that team do?
So for me, and I think for the teams, it keeps you connected as a team. It keeps you dialed in during the game, keeps you focused. You don't, you know that when that ball goes dead, I'm going to be checking in, or they're going to be checking in with me, and I better be looking back and give them something, and that just keeps us all together as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, so we're all in sync. We're all kind of in tune with one another. A lot of people don't realize the fun that the referees are having as a team and the game that we're having as a team. They just don't know it unless they've done it, unless they're one of us. Okay? So that gets us all focused and centered
I
on,
did a game with Keith at Strawberry Jam, and one of the guys noticed the hand signals, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I was able to tell him like, "Oh, when he looks at me, I'm putting my hand out to say, 'Hey, I'm with you,' or I'm like, that's just another way of communication." It was funny because they were on top of it, and um, anyway, it was just different because you don't get that question asked too many times.
somebody was very aware.
Yeah,
Okay?
I'm always wondering if they are wondering what I'm looking back at.
They were
Okay,
wondering why you were doing a Ventura game, but other than that,
Oh,
anyway.
digital
well,
must
thanks,
be
John. What else are we
very
doing?
harsh.
Or any other little stories like that that John just shared?
Yeah, I would. It's funny John says that because when at the tournaments, you don't always get refs that you're used to reffing with, and they're different degrees of skills and levels. And sometimes during a break, the trailing IR will look at me and go, "Why are you looking at me? What's what am I doing or not doing right?" And I forget to tell them during the pregame that, "Hey, I'm just going to look over to say hi or check in." So that happens. But one thing I do address in my pregame is a little hand signal during play for either a ball that's close to out of play, either the touch line or the goal line, and or an offside call. Just so I don't have to keep craning my neck, I ask them to politely give me a discreet hand signal, like moving forward, like it's in or it's not in, or if it's in, if it's not in, obviously the flag will go up. So that's one thing I do.
Yeah, so we use things that we use during dynamic play that don't disrupt play, right?
Yeah. I
How
will
about
say, sorry, Chris,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
John. No, you go. Your
I
turn.
will say sometimes it's difficult because there are referees that say, so me, I'm used to hand signals. And there are referees, very good referees, excellent, maybe in this meeting, that don't like hand signals in terms of offside because they said, "Oh, well, if it's offside, you'll raise the flag." Like I don't need that. Sometimes it's hard to unlearn that behavior.
Mhm.
But to me, it's always like more communication is better. Um, and they don't berate you for it, but like I said, there are tactics that are hard to unlearn.
True.
There, I agree. I will say that too. And so I'll tell people because I don't care if they give me a hand signal or not. But I'll say, hey, if that's something you're comfortable with, go ahead and do it. It's more information. I'm not going to tell you not to. I don't want to dissuade people from their comfort zone. I was just thinking of another silent communication is the flag is silent. Your AR flag up in the air is silent, but it is definitely a form of communication.
Yeah, everything we do with the flag as an assistant referee, we
Should be
got trained
silent.
to do that, right? Thank you. I was wondering if that would come up.
Especially for the signaling the offside. If the play had switched fields, so it came over the shoulder of the referee, so he had no idea where the players were, and it's going to be 15, 20 yards before the player is going to be actively involved. It's nice to know that, yes, that player was onside, so now that player, he doesn't have to keep looking over at you, and he can keep his focus on the play to see any fouls or anything else that's going on. So I find it very helpful.
Yeah. And I think we all know what we like as the referee, and that's the important thing with the pregame. It's you're telling your ARs what you want them to do for you on that match. That's super important. And yes, John and Keith both point out we have habits that are hard to unlearn. It doesn't hurt anything, does it? Probably not. And if it does, you'll know. You'll be mentored on that. But there are other things. Anybody else have anything else that they do silently, communication wise, especially something that might be
I,
part of your pregame?
how about
Chris?
I'll add something. Proximity to play. That's a form of communication to the players.
And what might you be trying to convey by staying close sometimes and not other times?
Well, that I'm watching you. That
Yeah.
you're being. You might be getting a little bit more aggressive. I have my focus on you, and uh, as well as, of course, the rest of the play.
Yeah, so that's a good one directly for the players that we can use. It more as the referee because you're on the field. Yeah. Okay, that's a good one. What else do we have?
Yeah, hi, this is Robert. I've got a couple.
Yeah,
Yeah, sometimes our movement can be a form of silent communication. Like if the referee calls an offense on an attacker, it's near the penalty area, but he doesn't know or she doesn't know if it's in the penalty area or not. Outside the penalty area, as an AR, we can move either towards the goal line or towards the halfway line to indicate whether it's inside or outside of the penalty area. That's one way also. Yeah, that's
that's a
one
great
thing.
silent one.
Also, another one is like if, say, I'm the referee and I've called a penalty kick and my AR goes to their position on the goal line in the penalty area. I mean, yeah, where they connect the penalty
Intersection.
area and the goal line. And the goalkeeper infringes before the person taking the kick, kicks the ball. What's going to be my signal to my referee so that I don't automatically put my flag up and take away the call from my referee, but I can still make some type of a move. Either I switch my flag to the other hand, or I step off a little further off the field, or I use my flag and on my left arm and can actually move it towards the field, but it's more subtle. And then the referee still has that opportunity to either call it or not. I mean, it's up to them ultimately, even if I give that information. I think that's another pretty good one to discuss before in a pregame.
Yeah, I think that's super important because that's a big deal, a penalty kick. And you got to work together as a team and keep that credibility as a team without undermining anybody. So hopefully everybody's doing that as something, some kind of a signal predetermined for penalty kick, just as Robert explained. That's when you don't, that one can go ugly bad fast. You don't want to do that on a match.
You know,
Yeah, that's a good call.
Oh, the other thing I want to mention about that is one time I had a story where I had two very inexperienced, like regional referees. There's very experienced regional referees who never wanted to, get the next badge. but they're also very inexperienced. And when this happened, um, the goalkeeper definitely came off their line before the kicker took the kick. They yelled out at me, foul, foul, and they put their flag up, foul, foul. And the kicker, their kick was like 40 feet above the goal. So it did not infringe on, whatever the goalkeeper did, it really didn't affect the kick in my view. And that's the call I made, but it made it much more difficult because there was a lack of silent communication by my AR with all good intention. But basically, we just had a talk about it at the end of the game, and there was problems from one touch line, but just stuck with the right call in my view.
Sure, and that's a powerful learning experience for that referee. I think we all like that if there's no impact by the offense on the kick, that we can let it go. That was a great law change that we had, but we have to make sure that our teammates don't undermine that follow through on it, because it probably is the right decision to make when there's no impact. It's proper to blame.
The other thing that Team 3 does is, I mean, you kind of give your signal at least coming up at the same time. So you can look at I might say, oh, the offense, like the attacking team, I think it's off the defender. I'm going that. And then the center referee or the referee points the other way, and then we come up together. So that's a trigger to be like, okay, I will change my opinion because you might have had a better view or something like that. So you signal your pre-signal, I guess.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that little Alex is the master of the pre-signal. But yeah, no, I agree with that. That's a good call out.
Does anybody need
Uh,
a visual on what the pre-signal might be? We
it's a
all
little,
following that? We gotta get that on
little.
the screen.
I know you gotta get on screen. A little handout to the
Okay.
side of
Everybody
your
see what Keith's
waist.
doing?
Yeah, you just going like this, just a little bit with your hand out to the side. I think it's going that way. It's kind of like the assistant referee putting the flag in their hand on which way they think it's going. And you can do that in your pregame too, where hey, listen, it's near you, and you maybe had a better say. Maybe I'm going to change my mind. Well, very good. Let's go that way.
Yeah. I would
You
argue
know,
that's the silent communication we use more than any other once the game starts. We've got
yeah.
all these throw-ins, goal kicks, corner kicks.
And that's the other one I was going to say, which is just general. Is on the throw in. Where are you watching? What is the AR watching? If I'm the referee, I want to watch the push in the back. I want to watch the landing zone. Something that, and always just a quick check back to the AR after the throw. Was there a foul? And then back. And so you have to make quick eye contact there. Was there a foul? No, no flag. Great. Let's move.
And I think this is all a great segue into our first breakout room because up until this point, we've talked a lot about what we like to do, but there's probably things we've done and then thought back later, oh, we should have done something different. So um, in this first breakout room, you're going to be partnered up with one person. You'll have 5 minutes. And it's really thinking about what went wrong in one of your matches where silent communication could have done better. Just a heads up, this is just to prepare you for our scenarios. So when we come back, we won't have everyone share to the larger group, but everyone will be. Actually, we lost someone, so we're going to have one group of three because Andy, you lost your partner. But yeah, we'll be back in 5 minutes.
Well done, Alex.
You still have Brian there. You need to. All right,
Oh, did he drop out?
Daniel. Well, Brian and Daniel still are showing, so they haven't gone to their rooms.
Hey guys, sorry, I got to step out. I got to go get Corinne from work.
No problem. I'll make sure you got there.
All right. 7 rooms. The Daniel's dropping out.
Oh,
I
that
had
was
to figure out how
Brian.
to turn on the lights.
Yeah, it was fourth.
You can drop Daniel in with Keith Cobell.
Yep.
Got it. We have Randall, bam, and Daniel, bam. Okay, got everyone out of here.
There we go. Okay. Was that too much? Too long on that slide? I was trying to move it forward and then there'd be a new one. I was trying to say, hey, we got a foundation. Let's see what else is there.
Yeah, a little bit, but I think it's okay. Um, and Brian, are you still in the main room with us?
He physically stepped away.
He was the one that was saying he's got to go pick up his daughter.
Oh, got it. Whoops. So I thought that was Daniel.
What's Daniel's last name?
Yep, YAP.
I don't know him.
Yeah, but it's okay because we could drop one of the scenarios if we need to.
Yeah, it's hard to get the feel on Zoom rather than being live with people.
Yeah, I think in the real expo class, that one will go a little more ping pongish. Thumbs up, this, that.
A little quicker. It's also not
Yeah.
seeing faces. It's not all up there for me. I had to wait for a voice.
Um, mm, Actually, we won't have it again in this workshop, but once the question is out there, maybe it's worth stopping to share to be able to see everyone.
Yeah,
Maybe.
the challenges of online. We're just
That's
gonna
why
get
I
a,
do the multiple screens.
yeah, so you can see everybody.
I'm
You're
gonna
just
switch
trying,
to this.
you're just trying to justify your multiple screens.
It's a bit much. I've got 4 screens right now. But when I'm presenting, I like to have like my laptop as the view they get, so I see what they're witnessing.
Hmm.
But that camera is just all this for the sake of having a camera. I might go back to the laptop. So I wonder in the recording what's going on right now.
Yeah, does it hit all breakout rooms? It would overlap with audio and
It's probably showing us.
Yeah.
maybe what is
Well,
happening?
hello world.
So right now they're talking about, and hopefully some are making new friends for the new faces.
Yeah.
Should we broadcast a 30-second warning?
Zoom will do it automatically at the 1 minute mark.
Oh, okay. We got 35 seconds left.
Oh, cool. Oh, I see that. Yeah, I checked the box that says countdown after
Okay.
closing breakout rooms. Oh, maybe that's the countdown of it'll close them and give 30 seconds for people to return.
I think it brings them right back. We'll
Yeah,
find out.
here we go. Goes now, Alex? Yeah.
Yep, everyone
Oh,
has been given 60 seconds to leave their breakout rooms. All right, got 30 seconds left for everyone to return.
I don't know if we accomplished what we were supposed to.
Well, that depends. Did you have good conversation, Chris?
We had a good conversation. Yes.
Great. You
Referees
accomplished
always
it.
do.
Yeah. All right. So everyone has now returned at this point. Great. Awesome. So hopefully the juices have been going for everyone. We talked about what we like as a big group. We talked about you went off into your groups and had some good conversation. Hopefully talking about situations that went wrong and you could have done better. Now what we're going to do, and essentially the remainder of this will be you're going to go back into breakout rooms that will have 3 or 4 individuals. Once you're in your breakout rooms, in the chat, we're going to broadcast a scenario for you. This scenario is something that you probably have seen, and it may be one of those, ooh, this went bad, and we could have done this better. What you're after, and you're going to have 8 minutes in these breakout rooms to chat and discuss, is what's the silent communication that would help you manage this situation. You'll go off, you'll chat. What would silent communication look like that would be beneficial in managing this situation? And then we'll come back and talk about it as one big group. Everyone clear on the instructions? All right, let's do it. Happy communicating. We should all be prompted to go. Oh no, didn't work as I intended.
So they're there, but they're not. They're seeing the activity description, but not a scenario.
Yeah, so I'm closing the breakout rooms. I'm bringing them all back. All right.
Got a sign saying we close in 57 seconds, so I came back in to tell you.
Yeah, no, come on back. Technical issues. So I need everyone back. All right.
That was a really short 10-minute discussion.
It was.
Time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Right.
All right. So change of plans, because it turns out that the chat has a character limit. So you were only going to see the first part of the scenario. So I'm going to display the scenario. What I'd ask is if people could take a screenshot or do whatever you need. Turns out we can't broadcast to all rooms all at once.
Yeah,
So,
photograph it.
yeah, so apologies there. But
Oh, you
this is
can't share your screen to all the rooms?
I can't.
Some
Oh.
of us are back.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of us are back.
Come on back. So technical issues with sharing the scenario. So please take a picture of this. I will send it back out. But scenario 1 is that it's the 82nd minute of a 1-1 knockout match. A long diagonal pass splits defense and the attacker races onto it. Touching the ball forward toward the goal, the last defender clips his ankles just outside the penalty area. The attacker stumbles, takes one more touch, and then goes down. The referee is trailing the play and sees the foul clearly, but cannot tell whether another defender was close enough to cover. AR1 perfectly leveled the top penalty area, sees that the contact occurred outside the area and that there are no covering defenders. So in your group, the discussion should be around how can the referee and assistants align on whether that foul was outside, that no defender could recover, and that a send-off is correct. Remember, it's an intense match, so silent communication is your key. That's what you'd be discussing. So now I'm going to send you off
So
into your
Alex,
breakout rooms. Yes.
Alex, 1 second. So the covering, a defender covering is maybe not language that people understand, but I take it from the rest of the scenario. You mean helping or being a determinant in a decision about a dog. So is that
Yes.
okay? Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. So as you're in your groups, really what you're after is what's that silent communication methods that you and your teammates can utilize to make sure you're aligned. All right. So let's try this again. Chris, we still have you in the mix.
That's weird. Oh, did you move him here? You can't force him. Chris,
Yeah,
Chris, Holberg, do you have a pop-up that's asking you to go to a breakout room?
Chris, you're on mute, by the way.
I don't see it right now. Can you give it to me again?
He's in room 1.
Yeah, how do I get there? Ah, here we go.
There.
Oh. I have an idea, Alex.
Yeah.
I just saved scenario 1 slide as a PDF, and you can probably send that in the chat.
Broadcasting it.
Does it go as a document and then you open it? So we're not character limited.
Yeah, do you want me to try that?
Yeah. Would you mind broadcasting it? Can you broadcast it?
What do you mean broadcast?
Oh, so in the
Chat it.
breakout rooms menu?
Uh, broadcast message. No, that's just a text thing, but let me just put it in the chat to everybody.
Yeah. I wonder if they could see that in the breakout rooms.
Do you want to pop into a breakout room and see if it hits you?
Yeah.
I'll wait till you leave, and then I'll send it. All right. My other devices got it, but they're all in this room.
Yeah, I know that. I have it in the chat, but are they seeing it? Are you going to be able to open it and look at it too?
Ah, Brian's back. Let's move Brian. Let's move him to a room.
Could be in 2.
Yeah, let me put him back there. Okay,
It,
Brian, you should have a pop-up now that lets you go to room 2. Did it work for you, Alex?
it did not.
Well, I think a photograph will suffice for the next couple. Not trying anything that
Yeah.
complicates it.
I mean, what we could do is we could throw it. Well, if we copy the text, if we pop in to each of the breakout rooms and throw it in the chat there, then they'll have it. It just means one group will be delayed.
So I just Googled. It says under share screen, you select share to breakout rooms.
Oh, look at that.
Okay. I thought for sure I'd done it before. This recording gets to see how the sausage is made.
Who's that behind the curtain?
All right, so I think I'm sharing now.
Let me go
Would what?
pop into a room. Oh,
And I will I will often connect verbally with the person with the AR. But typically, the best ARs are the ones that are giving me their non-flag hand. They're kind of putting their hand out, like it's on the other side, or they're touching their card pocket,
So I,
to give me some of those cues.
so I think Keith, you just nailed it because that's what I was going to say, right? I mean, one way you can tell the referee right away that there wasn't, you don't believe, at least you don't believe. And if your position is good, you're selling that with credibility, right? And we're saying that the AR is in a position to be credible. You can look at the referee and you can put your hand to your back pocket if you have discussed that in your pregame, right? Did you discuss a signal for a caution or a send off? And if you do that, right, this is not necessarily a foul that doesn't say anything about the intensity of the foul, that it could have been a serious foul play or anything. It's just saying there is not a covering defender, and this person was clear on goal. So if you put your hand back there, what's that conclusion that referee's going to draw? Oh, that's a send.
Yeah, that sounds good. 1, 2, 4.
Yeah.
yeah. With this group, when I get tight on time, because they're great at discussion, I say you only got to plan for 30 minutes because they'll cover the rest. But if you pick out one person and like, hey, you're going to be the one answering the questions here, it moves faster. But yeah, then you might lose some of the conversation. So
I think the meat of this presentation is what happens in the breakout rooms more than in the
Mhm.
full group.
But I also think
actually, we've
I'd like to see a sharing of a tool, something that maybe no one else
Mhm.
knows to do. Like I like to point when something happened, I didn't see it. I'll point at my AR going, help me, please.
Yeah,
And
that's
that
what I
some
do.
others might not know that. That's a gem they can take home.
Yeah. All right.
So
So
we'll see what they come up with.
they'll be coming back.
for the next one, would you like to throw me into a breakout room and I can feed the chat?
Yeah, I want to look at one also. I think we can just pick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pick your
Have a nice
favorite.
list up. Coming back. We have everybody? No.
Not quite. They got 30 seconds.
Right. It looks like everybody is back now. Assuming we've all left our breakout rooms, we've finished our discussion. Okay, what I'd like to know if one person from each group, or up to one person from each group, maybe all groups, maybe not, if we can kind of come up with what the group found would be the best form of silent communication. especially with this first scenario, because we really are looking for a couple of things. Was it in or out of the penalty area? The defenders, was it the last one or none? And is the send off correct? So what did we come up with? Who would like to start? So room 2 had Andy and Brian and Daniel and Robert. I'm going to choose that group to go first.
I'll talk real quick. A few of us have worked together a little bit, and so we do discuss things like whether a foul occurred in the penalty area or not. So that's that kind of signaling is something that some of us are used to. And then the signaling for like red card or yellow card is something that we're used to too. But it's one thing is the combination of those. You know, in most scenarios, you don't use them all together. And so that's something that you kind of have to then kind of be looking for multiple signals.
Okay, so did you have a process of multiple signals or?
No, I mean, we were just discussing kind of how to signal each thing. But in this particular case, we're actually having multiple signals, right? And then, the center has to look for all of them.
So where does it start then with this referee team, your group being the referee team? What was the first thing that you needed to do?
In the pre-games, we, a lot of
No, I mean,
times
in this game scenario, in this exact scenario, you
well,
move
look at
referees
each
on the
other.
field. Okay. And what?
One thing that our group didn't discuss is how the center, if the center is not sure and is looking to AR for help, that's one thing we didn't discuss. But what we were assuming is that AR is going to signal anyways. Give the information about where the foul occurred and what kind of card.
So how did we do that when we discussed it, Daniel? What were the actions we took to say what we were going to call?
Okay. So those details are there's Robert talked about before about the trotting towards the goal line, or we actually discussed that it's actually a good idea to actually go the other way. If it's not on the penalty area, so it'll be pretty obvious. Rather than just standing still. The other one is where you point, whether to back pocket or to the front pocket for the type of foul.
Yeah, it really matters what your pregame was and what your penalty procedure is, I think. And I think this is something that John raised up as well. Like, so if there's a call and it's a penalty, are you to go to the intersection? Or if it's not, if it's near the area, I think, John, you raised this. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but about stepping the other way. Hey, it's outside the area. That's the first kind of signal. Second of all, you can signal that there was a send-off offense. It doesn't say in this scenario that the foul was particularly severe. It doesn't say there was maybe a serious foul play or anything. It just says it was a foul. So we can't assume any more than that. But so now, if it's just a vanilla foul, why are you signaling? Why are you indicating a send-off?
Well,
Right?
because they say that there's no covering defenders. So
No.
that, yeah.
I'm not
So,
actually saying. I'm saying the referee's going to have to think, why are you why are you indicating a send-off? Right? I mean, there was no covering defender. That would be the reason that you're indicating you believe this was a dog. So
This is great. This is great conversation. And a couple of things I want to point out about this specific scenario. It's the 82nd minute of the game, and it's 1-1.
Mhm.
So we're probably looking at a pretty intense game, pretty heated game, especially since it looks like one team is going home after this match. So what is the danger if the referee and the assistant referee aren't aligned? It's probably going to get even more heated, right? So that's number one. Number two is how does the referee let their assistant know that they need help? So far, what we've talked about is our AR is assuming that the referee needs help, that our teammate needs help. But what if that isn't as obvious? What if we think the referee has the view, they're close to play, right? But in reality, they don't. So if you're the referee, how can you let your partner know, hey, I don't have as good of a view or angle as you think. I need some help here. Did anyone talk about that?
We didn't. We did not because I think it said that the referee had the view. Um, there are some referees here in their pregame that if your scenario went down, they would point at the AR saying, "This, I need you to help me out." In this scenario, it seemed, if I remember the reading, it was the referee had it, so it seemed that it was more how do we stay in sync, and then how do we know where the foul occurred, inside, outside, which would, and then do we have any covering defenders? So to your point, Alex, there are referees here because I've worked with them that if they're not sure, they'll tell you in the pregame, if I point to you, I need you. And that's your responsibility. Help the team out.
Absolutely.
In this scenario, I think it would be more of and this happened to me at national games, which I hadn't dealt with before. If there's a foul anywhere close to the area, I want you, if it's in the area, to go to the flag. If it's not, take 2 steps towards the center line. In that game, it just happened to happen. And with that direction, luckily as the AR, I moved that way. It was not a dog so, but in that scenario, walked 2 steps up. Referee knew not in the penalty area. In this scenario, we might have, and I don't remember the direction on this, but I might have tapped my back for, outside the area, no covering defender, and then I would have, if they needed to talk, they can come over and talk to me.
Absolutely. Okay, great. No, good. Yeah, and in this one, it was referee sees the foul, but isn't sure inside or outside, and that makes the difference as to the color of the card. What we're going to do now is we're going to send you off into brand new breakout rooms with brand new friends and a brand new scenario. And I believe we discovered that we can share the screen into all the breakout rooms now. We found the magic button. So if that's not the case, somebody please come back and let us know. But off you go.
Sorry about that spotlight toggling, Alex. You had spotlighted Chris, and I was thinking on mobile, all I see is Chris. No one else when they're talking. And then I unspotlighted Chris. Maybe should we just pin Chris again?
Yeah, why not? Spotlight for everyone, right?
But now when that happened, I only see Chris. I see no other videos.
What
Now
about
I see
me?
Alex. Yeah.
What about the PowerPoint? Do you still see that?
I still see
Yes.
PowerPoint.
We
Others
we
up
didn't
there.
see the scenario in the breakout room.
Oh no.
Daniel's great at popping back and letting us know.
Share breakout rooms. Okay.
I'm gonna go jump into one to see what's going on.
Yeah, it should be good now, Daniel.
Okay, how do I get into the breakout room?
I believe there's a button in your menu that says move to breakout room.
I'm gonna go to 3 real quick and spend a minute.
Join breakout room. Got it. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you.
Let's see
Funny.
if
Daniel was the only one that came back.
yeah, that's the second time he's good at that.
Yeah.
All right, we're figuring out some high-end Zoom use here.
I thought I had it
Um,
down.
this is stuff I've never tried. I only use it for this, so I don't get
Yeah.
much practice. Should I hop into room 4? That looks like a real small one.
Oh, sure.
Okay, let's see if I can do that from mobile. Oh, look at that. Nice and easy.
Here's an idea, Alex.
Yeah.
What if we flip-flop scenarios 1 and 2? This is a little more simple with needing your help or up or down the field. Whereas the scenario 1 has the dog still option and the other stuff. Because in that breakout room, they said, hey, we just talked about this.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if anybody has, yeah, and I was going to preface it as, hey, We know the pointing one's the obvious thing. Did anyone come up with anything creative that's
There's
out
something
of
new
the
or
norm?
different.
Yeah.
Let's get right to it with this group then. With that,
Yep.
there might be.
I
I was trying
agree.
to figure out how to leave the breakout room. That took me
Yeah.
a minute.
All right. They'll be coming
Come
back.
back.
Yeah, I jumped the gun a little with the pointing in the last one.
They needed to move.
Yeah.
And it's 3 o'clock.
All right. 5 more seconds for everyone to return. All right. Great. So you were probably in your rooms saying, we talked about this, just point at my partner. So what I want to know is, did anybody talk about something different? Because obviously pointing at our partner or saying, hey, I need help are the obvious things. But did anyone talk about a nonverbal communication method that isn't pointing? Because sometimes pointing is a little too obvious.
I didn't bring it up in my group, getting ready to. Um, Maybe I picked this up living in Africa, but there's a clear signal to another person that you kind of need something from them, and that is you raise your head a little bit with your eyes getting wider, like
Mm,
hey, hey, I need something from you. So obviously that has to be communicated pre-game, but that's one way that I've kind of signaled without the shrug that I need some help here.
absolutely. That's a good one. Eyes
Excellent.
open, shrug. Anything else? If not, that's okay, because we have another scenario and another breakout room. This will be the last one we do, just in the interest of time. Um, but meet one more group of friends, and you should see scenario 4 on the screen. And if you don't, Daniel, I'm sure will come back and tell us. Thanks, Daniel.
Alex, I was going to throw to you there. You said pointing might be too obvious. Like I'm not a big fan of pointing because it dumps the spotlight, but I was gonna maybe ask you to explain it for those who might not. Um,
Ah, in terms of pointing being too obvious.
yeah, like, maybe you could explain why you think that.
Got it. Yeah, I can do that.
I'm gonna hop into room 4, but yeah, you got things great by the end.
Only took an hour.
I'll go into one.
This is high level Zoom use.
I'm interested to see what the recording's like.
Hello again.
You should be good now, Daniel.
Okay, I'll go back.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they're getting there. They're figuring out how urgent is it, and can you do it subtly, or can you give the referee the option to stop play or not?
Yeah. Uh, and this one's interesting because it is what advantage guide the lead AR to not bring any attention to it.
Mm-hmm. The other consideration is how much do you trust these assistant referees?
That's true.
You know, that's part of it too, because
Oh, and
they can
Chris,
bury you
do you,
wrong.
do you want to lead the discussion on this one? I know we
Sure.
only went
Yeah.
with 3, but yeah.
Because I think we can ask, is there an obvious signal? Is there a subtle signal?
Yeah. And how urgent is this really?
Which they won't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless they throw in their own considerations.
All right. I'm going to close the rooms now.
Gotcha.
Time is up.
So you set a time for the breakout room, but once you close them, they get an extra minute? Or does it tell you a minute before they're closed?
30 seconds. So you're able to
30.
change how long they get to come
Okay.
back. So it seemed like a minute was too long.
Yeah. Okay, am I assuming everybody's back?
How come
All right.
John and I were in all 3 breakout rooms together?
You're in
Why
all
is that?
3. It's supposed to be randomized.
It's because they don't want us to mix.
Well, let's finish our third scenario here, even though it's scenario 4. There's probably 2 choices. There's probably an obvious signal, and there's probably a less obvious or subtle signal.
That's what we were
Anybody
thinking.
think in those terms, or come up with one of each, or at least one of those?
I think we thought of the obvious one,
Which
is I seemed like straightforward. I'm going to mirror. Hopefully, we talked about that in the pregame. My AR should mirror and then give me the signal of where I should focus. That seems straightforward. Maybe
what
that's
does that
not
look
one of
like?
the 2. That
Keith, what
looks
does
like
that look like?
flag
What are you
up.
physically doing?
My flag's up, and
Referee blows the whistle.
and I'm pointing to the trail AR.
Okay.
Like, hey, back there. It just that seems the obvious, but I'm so curious to know what the alternative could be.
I'm glad you're thinking that way, but that is our standard signal and procedure for mirroring your assistant referee on the other half of the field or over a touchline. Right? No disagreements there, I hope. Okay. Anybody come up with a subtle signal, a less obvious signal that maybe only the referee might catch? I heard it in the breakout room I popped into. The group was talking about it.
All right, Keith, Keith Kobo, share what you suggested.
I want to hear.
Please.
Yeah, since it said that the AR and the referee locked eyes, there's like the classic go look over there, or hey, put your attention somewhere else than us. There's something else going on. That was one of the things we discussed.
That way.
Does everybody understand that?
Yeah,
Yeah, yes,
absolutely.
but that would also take the focus of the referee off of whatever actions on the field
True.
for a significant time to lock those eyes with your AR, the other AR. I think the referee would be inclined to continue to watch the match instead of seeing a very noticeable flag go up.
Well, I think one of the considerations that we don't know about is how serious is this offense that the trail AR has just witnessed?
Right.
Well,
it says a serious foul.
Violent conduct.
They say immediately raises the flag for a serious foul.
Exactly.
In the buildup. So
I ended up thinking that like it was like like a serious foul in terms of violent conduct or something to that effect, that might be, I mean, that's the level I did. So when we spoke about it as a group, we said, hey, all this nonverbal stuff, that's how you flag it. But if it's serious foul play and you need it, you probably, I mean, Keith brought up, go to the AR, you're going to need to know a number, you're going to need to know what's happening in order to figure out what, but we took it as almost a red card offense.
And again, that's working with people that you know, that you trust. You're willing to blow that whistle when you see the flag go up and the point across, or however you get the referee to stop it. That's why I threw in the consideration. It's much different than working with people you don't know at a tournament, right? That's part of the you live and die as a crew. But it's one of those things to think about before you start a match with somebody.
Now you find out that the serious foul was on the defense, and oh boy.
Yeah. So first, another consideration I threw out there for my breakout room is how do we know if this is potentially an advantage situation, and what do we do there?
Right. Right.
So maybe you could talk to us about that, Chris, or maybe pull some ideas out of us.
Throw some ideas out of advantage. So a big part of this workshop is flow. We want the game to continue unless it can't. We don't want to stop playing unless we have to. So did anybody else talk about advantage and maybe an opportunity to keep the game going, gather a little more information? This is kind of next level stuff here.
Yeah, that's kind of tough I mean, especially given that, the AR who sees the the referee didn't see it at all. And the AR, I mean, this all I would assume would need to start, all these things need to start in your pregame, right? I mean, that's a scenario that I don't think we talk about a lot, like this one. I mean, this is interesting because you might tell the AR, the trail AR, hey, you know, you might have seen a foul, but you're going to have to apply in your head. Is this something we need to pay attention to now? If it's serious foul play or, violent conduct or something. But I mean, that's interesting because I don't know how you could communicate that with the lead AR who is only getting a flag going up.
I think
David Bullard was getting there just as the timer ran out.
Yeah. David.
Oh, Randy.
We would love to hear from you, David.
You're muted.
Unmute.
There you go.
I think we're playing tricks with the mute button there. Here.
When you come back to the breakout room, you get muted.
Right. I'm trying to remember exactly what I was finishing up saying there, Lewis. But if it was an advantage situation and the CR should have signaled some type of advantage, and moving forward,
That assumes he saw the foul.
Right.
That's assuming he saw the foul, right? Yeah. What other signal was I? Now I started listening to everybody else talk. I kind of forget where we were at there, Lewis.
You were talking about which hand the trail AR would use to hold the flag.
So if the trail AR is signaling, normally you would signal with your right that there was a foul. However, if it was going the opposite direction and you needed to use the left, you could always raise the flag with your left to kind of indicate what direction it was going at. That would be a subtle hint to.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, it is.
Because that is actually the proper signal, right?
Right.
That's fantastic. I love that.
Versus, just going up and then having to switch hands and then moving over. So
whoever does that.
I don't know.
That's great.
Less
David.
experienced ARs.
Yeah, and they'd have to be able to pick up on it, but I think this group, in this group would be able to identify that,
Right.
especially if we pregame this, which we probably wouldn't. This is something that probably
Yeah.
doesn't happen that often, if it's serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I
Or
gotta
do
make
a
my
multiple,
pregame
right?
even longer.
You should pregame even longer.
In a tournament where you're already 8 minutes behind schedule,
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
running from your last game.
Well, we have focused discussions like this to talk about them, so
Yeah, that's
there's
really
always
good.
there's always a later on. That's what
Yeah.
we're here for.
Great discussions, everyone. And I know
Thanks.
we're very over on time, but hopefully through your breakout rooms, you all learned or thought about something maybe you haven't thought of before. Um, Hopefully this will help you prepare for your next game. What I really want to do is encourage you all, even though the scenarios would be repetitive, come check this session out at the 11011 Expo, where we can talk further and elevate the conversation about um, secret signals or subtle signals. Because the reality is, we all have the ability to talk to our teammates. But as you saw through these scenarios, sometimes the game will flow a lot better if we could have subtle signals. So um, the best teams, best referee teams communicate um, without talking. So uh, if there are no additional thoughts, I know some of you will drop out, but any questions for Chris or myself in terms of subtle signals about this workshop? Any of that?
Well, good luck when you present it at Expo.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And if it helps, the method of presentation will most likely be you stay with the same group and you rotate throughout the scenarios and talk about different things. And then we'll come back and chat a little more uh, as a larger group, but easier to display things in person.
It's going to be the same group as we did tonight. That means we
Yep,
all have to be there.
just you.
No,
Just you and John.
I just want to say that it was great. This is great. What a great bunch of people. Thank you
Yeah.
all for joining. It was really
Also,
great discussion.
this is
Yeah, I really like the format.
Yeah, and thank you all for bearing with our elevated Zoom skills because we don't typically utilize breakout rooms and sharing and all that often or ever. Yeah, it was a learning experience on the Zoom side for sure.
We definitely appreciate your time and letting us try this out. We've already talked about a few changes to make this better in person. This has really helped Alex and I.
Yeah, that's that's great. This is how it's all made. Yeah, if someone has a great idea and writes a workshop around it. So we do have Expo coming up. For you folks, I'm sorry, I don't have the date memorized. I really should. Um, but it's in March. Go ahead and get registered. And get there for great referee material like this. And of course, you can get a bunch of free things while you're down there. Um, and well, last time we saw some celebrities. Last time we were in Pasadena, they were what show were they filming right next door?
Howie Mandel was there, whatever that show
Yeah,
was.
that's
Talent show.
America's Got Talent.
Yeah,
There you go.
Exactly.
Yeah. I I do want, but before I wrap up the recording here, I want to point out the update, the February update went out with only half of our February focus discussions mentioned. We have another one on the 26th, and as of right now, I'm working to make that an in-person one. We're normally online. I might go exclusively in person with that one. We've got a guest who really knows how to work a room, and he wants to get people in the room so he can work it, and I'm all for that. So I'm trying to find a location for that. You will see notices coming up as soon as I start getting things figured out. But that is the 26th of February. Before I wrap up the recording here, Alex and Chris, thank you very much. It was very cool to see this. I think you got something really good here, and I hope everyone else can express their appreciation too.
That's great.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.